The kind of girl that you could be down for. 'Cause when I look at you, I feel something tell me that you're the kind of guy that I should make a move on with. And if I don't let you know, then I won't be for real. I could be wrong, but I feel like something could be going on. The more I see you, the more that it becomes so true. There ain't no other for me, it's only you. I wanna love you with what you're going through. I wanna be down, I wanna be down. You don't make it Welcome back to Miss Joan Uncut with me, your host, Miss Joan, back with another video. You know how we do over here. We spectate, we do not participate in any drama, and we're going to get right into it. But first, let me just thank all of my subscribers. Thank you, all the new ones, my day ones. Thank you for all of those who take the time to comment, like, and share my content. You are very greatly appreciated. So let's get into it. Listen, it's a lot. It's a lot that's been going on. My life has been lifing, and so I basically caught up with as much as I can. So we're gonna just go ahead and jump right into it. So, baby, let me tell you something. Jag has been out here jagging. The exes are appearing and they're doing interviews. And Kimmy has definitely had Jag over there shaking in her boots, child, shaking in her boots. So where I want to start off with is pretty much the Kimmy and Jag beef, right? Because baby, that's been giving me everything that I need, right? So it pretty much started, if you remember, just to give you like a rundown, it really kind of started with, the whole OG Patrice and everything. So it then went and escalated where Jag went ahead and struck Kimmy's channel, child. And so Kimmy had to start going live on one of her backup channels. But Kimmy wasn't playing, child. So she went ahead, child, and struck Jag channel. Not only Jag channel, she also struck Ayasha's channel and Kai's channel, right? Because they do be over there supporting Jag on the panel, and they do be over there talking their shit. And I'll be honest with you, when it comes to that crew, I'm surprised they still lasting with Jag, Kai, and Ayasha. But I noticed Kai been very opinionated lately, right? This young man has had a lot to say about a lot of CCs. And instead of me sitting here and doing commentary on him, Kai, I just have one question for you, hon.
You're sitting on the couch, you're watching TV, and your life's passing you by. You keep procrastinating over and over. Well, maybe I'll go to school next year, maybe next semester. No, do it right now. They'll work with you after work, or you can go before work. You can do whatever you need to do to graduate. Go talk to somebody right now. They out to help you. You spend all day on the phone anyhow. Why don't you make a phone call that's gonna help you in your future? All you gotta do is pick up the phone and make the call. Why are you making it complicated? It's easy.
Child, I know y'all remember that Everest commercial. So, Kai, why aren't you in college, enrolled in school, have a job at Walmart? Like, why are you on the internet with grown, grown ass women and you're all in their business? It's just weird, it's awkward, it's uncomfortable to watch. And I wish his mama, daddy, grandmama, uncle, auntie, I don't know who would come get his little ass off this internet, because, sir, you are really just out of your league. But I digress. Okay, we're gonna move it right along. Okay, y'all know I had to be a little messy. So then we goes on to like this whole Kimmy and Jag thing has just been off the chart. So the next thing I see is Kimmy goes live and she posts big homies, Jag's man's building, a picture of his apartment building. Now, y'all know I ain't gonna post that because I ain't about to dox that man. But baby, when I said I had Jag shook, because the next thing Jag did was call the po-po. She sure did. She called the police, and baby, that 911 call had me tickled that whole day. Jag's supposed to be this tough person, Jag's supposed to be this person that she will whoop somebody's ass. And the first thing Jag did when she saw that Kimmy knew exactly where she was at and where her man was at, she got her ass on this live and called 911 and told that lady. By the way, the lady who took the call, you could tell she knew Jag was off her hinge, and she just wanted Jag off that phone. Okay, she gave us a big homie, a big sit. Oh, okay. But Jag went in on Kimmy about how Kimmy was threatening her life. She was going to blow her head off. I want to be correct for YouTube. I don't want to say too much because Jag don't be caring about her channels. But Jag just went on and on and on how her life was in danger. She's doxing everyone. Now, Kimmy do be doxing everybody though, so we ain't gonna act like that wasn't true. We're about accountability over here. Okay. And so I'm just like, oh my God. But then Jag had to make sure. She's like, I don't know if you know who I am, but I am Jaguar, right? And then she went on to say that Jay-Z and them were after her. I'm sorry. And I was just like, sis, what? And I'm like, here we go. And the lady's like, I can't do nothing for you. You know, I'm paraphrasing, but she's like, I can't do anything for you. You have to call the police department where you're at, and then they have to deal with it. And then they'll, do their little thing. And she's, oh, well, okay. And I'm like, girl, didn't you just say that you would get in the ring with Kimmy and whoop her ass? What happened, Jag, to you whooping her ass? Why did you call her Popo, girl? You a cop caller. We don't do cop callers, baby. We don't do cop callers. So we're going to move that along. So then pretty much, right, I get on there, I think, the next following day, child. And I don't know. I don't know if something told me to check Kimmy's channel. I don't know if I saw it on my recommendations. All I know is I see on Kimmy's community wall, by the way, she's back on her main channel. She got that back. And she has 2 pictures of pictures like she's somewhere where it has like Chicago. So what I took from it was she was leading us to think that she was in Chicago, because prior to that, Kimmy was on a live going at Jag like, girl, I'll come to where you at, because Kimmy was pissed. Okay, she was like, I'll come to where you at, child. That's no problem. And for those of you who don't know, Detroit is literally next door to Chicago. Like, it ain't but a couple hours drive. It's not that long. And baby, when she posts those pictures, I said, checkmate, bitch. Now listen, maybe Kimmy wasn't in Chicago. Maybe she has a subscriber that lives in Chicago and sends her the pictures. I don't know. All I know, it did whatever she wanted it to do to Jag. Whatever Kimmy is doing is pretty much making others happy, because Danny Robertson pulled her strikes back off Kimmy's channel. So Kimmy is definitely fucking with Jag. And Jag, baby, when I say you met your match, honey, you met your match. Okay? So we gonna move on from that one. So then, I don't know what happened, baby. I woke up one morning and I went over to Incoming Opinions channel, and she's playing this audio of Jaguar, Wright, and TJ screaming and fighting and chewing her ass up. I'm sorry, we're gonna call her Ty because she's trying to move on from all of this. So I'm gonna be respectful and address her as Ty. But just so you know, I'm talking about TJ. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment. I would really appreciate it. Thank you. So as we're going and I hear this call, I'm like, hold on, wait a minute. Where I missed this? So I go over to Jag's channel, and baby, Jag has been posted of audio. She calls. So we find out she calls TJ at 4 o'clock in the morning. TJ gets the cursing Jag ass out, and baby, she revealed that Jaguar Wright has bum bumps, honey. She has bum bumps. She got bumps on her cooch. And on top of that, nobody really addressing the fact that she got halitosis, child. And that TJ said that apple cider vinegar did not help with halitosis. And I was like, apple cider vinegar? And she got bum bumps? And baby, I was gagged. I said, let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you how that was for real, for real. Like, it was true. Jag was choked. Okay. Jag didn't know what to say. You know what Jag said at the end of all of that after TJ tore into her ass? That bitch is crazy. She said, that bitch is crazy. I said, nah. I said, Jag didn't know what to say. She got outed. She wasn't expecting it. TJ got in her ass and hung up. I think the part that was more crazy to me is Jag's man was back there and he heard it all, child. And I'm like, if I'm with somebody and their ex, and you, first of all, you calling your ex, so that's a problem right there. But then your ex gets to screaming and yelling at you, saying you got bumps on your cooch. And then we find out, like I went to TJ's live, we found out that she don't shave. She was able to describe the bumps, child. It sound more like boils. Listen. I got a question. I might be jumping ahead of my notes, but do Jag ever go to the doctor? Have we ever heard her mention a PCP or an OBGYN? I mean, all this time on the internet, I've never heard her mention like to get a physical, a checkup, or anything. Oh, that was just nasty. That was disgusting. Okay, let me get back on track because I'm like, whoa. So, man, the fact TJ put her face down there and she knew that is just nasty in itself. Okay. All right. So I do want to just throw in here that I don't know if I talked about it in my last video, but Melody Jones, shout out to Melody Jones. She's been giving us interviews, baby. She's talking to these exes, and honey, we're going to talk about it. So she was able to interview Goomba, and I'm only bringing up this one part because we've already knew this, right? About Goomba and Jag smoking a blunt with her deceased son ashes, which was very disturbing. And he admitted it. He said, yeah, he shook his head. He like, yeah, we did. And let me tell you something. Every time I hear about that, you know what I think about? I think about this right here.
I am dead, but this is what happens when you smoke your boy.
Holy shit. Man, let me try that.
Silence, relax. Now, can we talk about this back in your car? I am dead, but this is what happens when you smoke your boy.
Holy shit. Man, let me try that.
Silence, relax. Now, can we talk about this back in your car?
Baby, every time I hear that, and to be respectful, because it's one of the most disturbing things I've heard, I think about the movie How High with Method Man and Redman. Like, y'all really sat up here and smoked ashes of a deceased person. That shit is not, I don't love nobody that much on this planet that I would sit there and smoke a blunt. And they like, oh, let's smoke my son, my kid, my grandmama. Are you out your mind? Oh, let me tell you something. That relationship over then, because that shit not normal. Y'all some weird motherfuckers, okay? All of y'all. Nah, keep that shit from me. So then I want to go ahead and move on to just throw in there Miss Pam. So if you know Miss Pam once too was also associated with Jaguar, Wright, child. It seems like all her people that she once was so like dedicated to her, they're all falling out with her and they're doing interviews with all her people. But she did do a positive interview with Sam Sr. and they pretty much discussed his life after Jag and how much, just let us know how it's been. So I just took a few notes from that interview. So, we go to learn that, he discussed some of the labels that Jag was a part of in the music industry. And he goes to say that Jag didn't really have the proper backing that she needed. And that she did some things herself that screwed up her opportunity with her music career in the industry, which I'm not surprised. This is Jag we're talking about. And then he goes on to let us know that, Miss Pam asked him like, well, how is the co-parenting between you and Jag? And he just straight come out, child, and say there is no co-parenting, okay? Because him and Jag have different ways of parenting, right? There's just pretty much no way that they can coexist with that. And if you watch her and how she is, he ain't lying about that, okay? And then, pretty much, he whatever job he has, he moves around a lot. And right now, I refuse to say, because I didn't put this in my notes, so let me bring this up. today, yesterday, Jag put out a short, and it's on my community wall, a picture pretty much of her allegedly contacting his job and saying these things about him, and pretty much saying he's stealing from them and that he's had sex with all the people in his job. Now, whether the job was like the right job, maybe she fabricated, it's disturbing, because this is the man that is taking care of your child that you're not taking care of, or you haven't taken care of ever. I'm surprised he ain't put her ass on child support, but he wouldn't get no money anyway. All right. And this is somebody who's trying to get, your son is trying to get his life back on track. It's just the whole optic of it. And everybody is so quick to want to shoot down the content creators who do content on Jag. The ones, I guess, who really likes her, but pretend like they don't like her, but they really do like her, right? They want to keep shading us, but it's like, how aren't y'all not speaking about she's trying to ruin this man's life and potentially her son's? Could you imagine if Jag was able to find the location of where her son worked and what she would do with that? That lady right there, God, did she sell her soul in the industry? Because something ain't right in the water, child. Something ain't right in the water. Okay. And so we're going to go ahead and move on from that. And so pretty much, I told myself I wasn't going to say this, but I'm going to say this. Out of all the people, Jag, that we've seen that she's dealt with, Sam Sr. has to be the most handsome man. And don't at me, because all of y'all was saying that in Miss Pam's comments too. I seen all y'all. I see all y'all women saying how fine that man was. I just thought I'd chime in here because that's a handsome man, and he did goes into like he's, over the last year or so, he's had some health concerns, and you could just tell he's just, I don't know why he keeps talking about it, but you could just tell like it just took a toll. But I don't think it took a toll enough, because I wouldn't be up here talking about the lady. Okay. But he pretty much goes to say that, Jag, she could speak very intelligently, she's smart, but she does not know how to handle a business, right? And that she's very abrasive and she blows her opportunities. And I agree. I feel like with Jag, she literally get handed opportunities. Like if you go back to the interview with her son, she was given a mansion, right? She was with the man Goomba, who they were able to actually build a website called Philadelphia. And it's like she get handed things, opportunities to really make a real life for herself, and she blows it all. So when he said that, I totally agreed, and he pretty much, just to sum it up, he pretty much hopes that Jag gets her life in order, and he pretty much states that she's not a good role model, for their son, and that she's not somebody he can look up to because of her behavior and how she does things. And I agree. So now we're going to move it along to where Jag's just been out here doxing. I don't know if you realize it, but she did a short where she put out Kimmy's phone number. I don't know if Kimmy's seen it, but I'm like, girl, she even put out Miss Pam's real name in that email with Sam Sr. And I'm like, child, look, they all doxing each other. I'm not going to even get on Jag about that because they doxing her too. So we're going to move on from that. I just thought I'd throw that shit in here. Okay. So then Jag, so what we're going to do is we're going to move into the interview. So today, well, it is 2 a.m. So yesterday, Melanie Jones did an interview with TJ. Shout out to Melanie Jones once again. The interview was good. Baby, that interview had me on the edge of my seat. And let me tell you why. We're going to get into these notes. So she pretty much starts the interview off with asking questions. And what she asked is she wanted to know about the bum bumps, child. Yes, she jumped right into it. And I said, yes, I wanted to know about the bum bumps too. Not really, but I did. So she goes to ask about that. She's like, was it real? And Ty goes, yeah, it was real. So then she goes to ask, well, what about the bacteria in your throat? Was that an STD or a bacteria? So Ty goes to explain, aka TJ, goes to explain that it was bacteria, and that all the times that she has gone down on women and had sexual relations with other women, she's never gotten anything in her throat before. She's never gotten an infection or anything. And then it is possible that the bum bumps could have given it to her. And then I heard her mention something in one of her lives about AD ointment, and that AD ointment doesn't cure bum bumps. Child, let me tell you something. Now, I went over to Ty's channel. I've been on her panel, and she is sweet. She's very nice. So, you know, I still got my issues about how she let Jag attack her kids. But, girl, you still went down there? You telling me you saw some boils in her pants and you still went down there? You telling me you loved that woman that much that you saw some white and pink bumps down there and you still went down there? Baby. We gonna move along because, child, I don't get it. So then Melanie goes to ask, you know, what was her last straw, right? What was the last straw that TJ decided that, okay, I need to leave Jag? And she goes to say is when Jag put the name to her daughter out, right? Jag just, okay. And I'm like, yeah, she pretty much doxed your kids. She doxed a lot of people, and you kind of stuck around for a while. So, I mean, I think maybe the way I would take it is maybe that was a moment, maybe TJ realized like, or Ty realized like, okay, this woman is disrespectful. She's crossing the line, but it wasn't enough for you to actually leave. It took a while for you to leave, but we'll get into that later. So then Melanie goes to ask, you know, did Ty have any communication with Naisha? And Ty goes, no, you know, the kids are old enough to where we don't have to speak. I can speak directly to them. So then it goes on to where she asks why Jag is so weird. You know, why does she does the shit that she does? And Ty says it's content. Jag does everything for content. And in a way, I do agree. I feel like I've been saying it in all my videos. If we were to stop doing content on Jag would like probably go to the extreme to do something just to get us talking, because Jag loves the attention. She's never going to come out and like directly, let's be honest, she's not going to come out and directly be like, oh, I love the attention, like talk about me. She's not going to do that. You see what I'm saying? Like she can't even be with her man long enough without running into the bathroom, turning on a shower water and acting like she's shitting on the toilet just so she could talk on YouTube, child. And I think sometimes her ass in the middle of the morning, late nights, she gets on YouTube and he wakes up and then she just let music play for hours. That's just my opinion. Okay. So then Melanie then goes to ask, did Jag convince her to still be sexually active with her with the bum bumps? Yeah, we calling them bum bumps over here because those are bum bumps. Okay. And baby Ty said it was Jag idea. And if because Jag told her they came from her spandex, she was going to believe they came from her spandex. Listen here. And never in my niggerdom, whatever you want to call it, my life, have I ever heard of any person getting bumps on their vajayjay from spandex. I'm gonna let that sit with y'all for a minute. How tight do your spandex gotta be? They're already supposed to fit you like a glove, that they're so tight in your crotch of your area that bumps form. Yeah, no. Baby, you can't be that naive. Come on now. You're a woman. You can't, baby. What? Really? Oh no, baby. What you doing? Oh no, baby. What you doing? You really thought, girl, that them spandex get? Ty, you might want to get some blood work done, baby. Because it's like, you know what I took from that? It's like saying that it was dropped on the ground and she kissed it up to God and still went down on her. You know what I'm saying? You know how we used to say back in the day when we were kids, we would drop something outside. They say, pick it up. It's a 3-second rule. And we'll be like, God made dirt, don't hurt, put it in your mouth and let it work. That's what I took it as. Girl, that shit don't work on no bumps or no vagina. You know what? I'm gonna leave you alone, Ty. I'm gonna leave you alone, girl. I know you ain't gonna listen to this, but I'm gonna leave you alone. So we move on. And again, I don't understand. I've never heard Jag say she's been to the doctor. She has OBGYN. She has a primary care provider. I've had mine for 11 years, honey. Okay, 11 years and plus. And you telling me you had bumps down there and you ain't know what the bumps was. And then you use AD ointment. Child. And then apple cider vinegar for that bread. Child, dragon breath for real. Mm-mm. So now this is when the interview took like a mini turn, and baby, my head got to spinning like an hour. I said, "Oh shit, what the happened?" So in the middle of the interview, TJ, aka Ty, she ends up telling Melanie that, like, as the host, pretty much, she's getting upset because she felt like her chat was disrespecting her. She felt like Melanie's chat was disrespecting her because there was one particular person in this chat that was triggering, TJ, Ty. And then she pretty much goes to tell Melanie that as a host, she should let the chat know how to respect the guest. And in a way, I do agree with that. But you got to also understand, like, there are just some people out here who just don't give a damn, and they're going to drop down and say whatever until you actually block them and time them out, And so I don't think she was aware. I wasn't even aware that people were going to come at, Ty like that. So I was even taken back by it. So, baby, let me tell you something. Melanie then addresses the time that she went over to TJ's channel, Ty's channel, and her mom's blocked her. And Ty goes to be, what's the difference between like coming and just being blocked and like people in the chat attacking you? And baby, my head started spinning. I'm like, whoa, wait a minute. Where's this interview going? Because this was not what I was expecting. Right. And so, baby, I was like, ooh. And then Melanie did make a good point. She said, well, you really shouldn't even be paying attention to the chat. You should be talking to me. I'm the host and not the chat, and everybody is not going to like you. And every time somebody say something to you on here, excuse me, you can't automatically just start feeling some type of way. But clearly Ty had an issue with one specific person in the chat name making changes, and she didn't want to disrespect. Now these are Ty's words. She did not want to disrespect the chat, right? Melanie's chat. And she just started to feel some type of way, right? And Melanie like, no, now I'm starting to feel some type of way. Okay, because like you're over here to talk to me and you're worried about people in the chat, and you're supposed to be from Be More. So like you should just handle it and move on. And Ty was like, okay, you know what? Just go ahead, ask the questions. And so she ended up having to play music just to regroup, which I thought was like a very good move to do, to just regroup, to just recenter and get the interview back on track. And then when she came back from playing music, it did get back on track. So then Melanie went ahead to ask on further, if Ty was seeing someone, and if she is, would we meet her? Let me tell you something. Me and Ty, TJ, at the same exact time in that interview said, hell no, at the same time. I said, girl, don't let none of us know. Don't let none of us know. They'll have her whole business out here within 24 hours. Okay. Don't let none know. Okay. And so then Ty goes to say that she didn't want to be on YouTube, and that when we found out about, we only found out about her through Naisha because of, how that was. And I'm like, you really can't say you didn't want to be on YouTube, because we clearly remember you. Jag made sure that we saw the video of when Naisha got you a camera for one Christmas or birthday, and you said, oh, now I can do my YouTube channels. So we're gonna leave that right there. I'll pop a bubble, child. I won't pop a bump, but I'll pop a bubble. so then Melanie goes to ask, like, well, Ty, have you been over to Jag's panel? And Ty states she hasn't been over there, and that she wants to move away from just the whole Jag mess. And she was like, she don't understand why you're trying to pour from an empty cup, and Jag needs to just take her ass to court because her name's on these papers, right? She pretty much just want this to be over with. So I have a tip for some people that may need it. Not all of you, but some people might need it. If you're dealing with somebody who is in jail and they need somebody to put their name on a bond, if their own family will not put their name on that bond, you should not put your name on that bond. I'm just saying, honey, if a family won't help, baby, that's a red flag right there. And I'm gonna leave y'all with that golden gem. Okay. So then I kind of in a way feel as though, like, cause I could tell like Ty, aka TJ, was getting a little upset because I guess Melanie was asking questions about Jag. But here's the thing, like, honey, we only know you because of Jag. So yes, people are going to ask you questions about the person that you came in under. And even though I know you may want to talk about other things, Like, we don't really know anything of you other than Jag. So I don't think that was really fair to expect someone just to come and not really ask you questions about Jaguar, right? But I digress. So then Melanie goes to ask, like, why does the case keep getting pushed back? And Ty pretty much goes to say, well, that's what the lawyers do. They push it back and they just keep pushing it back in hoping that you get your freedom. And I was just like, child, I'm not the type of person that condemns somebody, that somebody should go to a mental institution. She should go to a mental institution. But I'm not just the type that's going to sit out here and like diagnose and tell. But like, Jay needs some professional help. And I think we all can agree. So then Melanie then goes to ask about BB Films robbery and like, do you think Jack have something to do with it? And they literally both agree that they do think Jack has a part to play in BB Films getting robbed. Honey, that was like one of the weirdest things. It's possible Jack has something to do with it. Allegedly, it's very possible. I don't know what she would have got up out of it because she ended up leaving empty-handed anyway. But I guess. So then the next questions went from like, and this was a good question because I've always wanted to know this. Where did the name MsJoanieee come from? So Ty goes to explain that it comes from an email that she has in a phone that Jag has. So for those, I just want to refresh you. When they were together, TJ had 2 phones. And when she left, I guess she left the other phone or Jag had it. And she did try to get it back. She was trying, but she just gave up. Jag will not get back their phone. Jag got pictures in here of just all personal things of TJ. And I guess she went through her email, and I guess her email is MsJoanieee. And that's, now we know where that name comes from, because Jag don't tell the truth, child. So then Ty goes to say that Jag wants a narrative, and how she pretty much wants a narrative. And this is why she says like people are out to get her. And then she goes to explain that when she was with Jag had her and Jag jumping in and out of bushes, in and out of bushes. And I'm like, literally? And could y'all imagine these 2 grown ass women jumping out of trees? Baby, when I say this is some comical shit, baby, can you imagine walking around here jumping in and out of fucking bushes because you think people chasing you? Ooh, child, don't pay me no mind. Okay. So when she said that, you know what I noticed? Literally a couple days ago, Kimmy said the same thing. Kimmy said that Jag had her so paranoid that people, it had her so convinced that people were really trying to come after them, like from the industry. And this is like a scare tactic. It's like paranoia. Jag, it's like a trauma bond, right? She does these extreme things and have you so convinced that it's happening that you believe her. And I'm just like, baby, that lady is messing with your heads something serious. So then the conversation goes on where TJ pretty much goes to say that when she left Jag alone, people kept asking her, like when she first left Jag and I guess she finally got the guts to leave, people kept asking her like why she was taking her calls. TJ goes to explain that she still loved Jag. She then goes to explain that, what she experienced with Jag off camera was completely different than Jag on camera. And you know what? I've heard a lot of people that used to deal with her say that like Jag is a completely different person when she's not on camera compared to when she get on camera. So it's making me start thinking that this lady is putting on an act. Okay. And now it makes sense why big homie over there is so sprung on the bumps, because she's a completely different person when they're not on that camera. Child, it just seems like it just takes for her to flip on you so bad for people to walk away. But it just makes sense now. Like Jag just has 2 different personalities, child. She's like a real life Split. If you ever see the movie Split, you know what I'm talking about. So then the conversation goes on to pretty much just say that, Melanie did ask her, like, are you in contact because your name is on a bond? Do you have any contact with any lawyers? And Ty goes to say, yes, she's even spoken with the DA, but she's not going to come on the internet and discuss everything. Not everything is for the internet. And I totally agree. Like, just not everything is, especially when it's coming to like dealing with the law. So then she goes to say, TJ Ty goes to say pretty much like, you know what, I asked Jag to leave me alone. Jag won't leave me alone. I've been sitting on the bumps tea, for months, and she just wanted Jag to leave her alone and stop lying on her. But she had finally decided to like expose the truth for what it was. And baby, when she did it very well. That shit was funny. So then Melanie goes to ask, like, what direction is she planning to take her channel? And Ty goes to say, she wants to get into podcasting, and she really just want to move away from the Jaguar Wright fiasco. She's just done with it. She's tired of it. She's moved on. She's in a relationship, and she just want like a fresh new start, which I think she can do. But she's really going to have to get to where even if Jag decides to like go to the extreme and say things, not to respond, because every time she goes back and respond and snap on Jag, it's going to become content, and she's just going to be attached to Jag name again. So now as the conversation progresses, Melanie does ask Ty about a cat, her cat Sir, and I learned that y'all had a petition to take that girl cat away. Y'all really did that shit. Y'all was gonna take the cat away from TJ. She said that was her service cat and that she was in a very low place in her life. And you made a petition. Y'all couldn't stand that girl that bad that y'all want to take the damn cat. I said, Lord, y'all are savages on this internet. Okay. And so then she pretty much go and make it clear that she wants to completely get away from the Jaguar Wright drama. And then Melanie does mention that, in order for you to do that, you're going to just have to leave the sector completely. Like, you're just going to have to separate yourself. And Ty goes to say she knows that's why she hasn't been using any Jaguar Wright hashtags or putting her name in any of the titles. But by her, when she called you at 4 a.m, baby, you shouldn't have answered. Even if you wanted to curse her ass out, you're going to have to get way better self-control and to like when you feel tempted not to answer, because Jag's going to drag you back in, honey. She just is. Okay, so then we learned that they were only together for 95 days. That had to be some of the longest 95 days I have ever witnessed. And then she said it was hell. It was torture. And the only reason why she even ended up with Jag is because she wasn't happy in a previous relationship, which we know was with Naisha. She wasn't happy. So she pretty much wasn't happy, and she ended up with Jag. And then she goes to say, shit, Jag is crazy. Girl, we tried to tell you. We really did, but you doing the same thing that big homie over there is doing now. Oh, y'all want to see her. Y'all want to see her happy. Okay. So then we go ahead to go where Ty then goes to explain that she felt defeated when she was with Jag because it was never her intent to be with Jag. She said she just went to Dallas to help her, right? But they end up having sex, and she felt like she owed it to Naisha the truth. And then because of that, her whole world just like burnt down, and she just was caught up in like a really bad situation. And we saw that all play out, child. So then Melanie and Ty goes to discussing like, what she's doing right now. If you see her, she's over there doing her vision boards. They discuss shadow working and journaling and vision boards. Baby, shadow work is no joke. That shit is not for the weak. Okay. So then Ty goes to express that her real issue is that her real life was being affected, because we learned that the making changes person, I guess, is one of the people who doxed her and her family. And she said that's what it is. She don't have a problem with content creators making commentary on her. She don't really have a problem with even subscribers having an opinion with her. Her issue is when people start going into her real life and affecting her real life. And that's where all her animosity came from, with the whole chat situation. And then she goes to say, all the stuff she went through, and from my understanding of people I've heard get doxxed, especially over in the beef sector, they always say that unless you know how I feel, then don't say nothing about it, because a lot of people feel like you're very vulnerable. Honey, there are people out here who's waiting to get certain people's information just to ruin their life. I don't know why people take doxing lightly as they do, but it's really not a light situation, because what if there's that one crazy person that like gets your information and gets obsessive and they want to harm you? I mean, this is why CPS get called. This is why people have police SWAT teams. It's just a dangerous game. And I can understand why Ty was so passionate about that, right? So then I don't know how this came up, but it came up that Jag, went after TJ with a knife when they were together. And this was all over the esoteric. And I don't know if you remember, it was supposed to be because esoteric and TJ was talking secretly behind Jag's back. She said she walked out and left out a door. And when she came back, Jag pretty much pulled a knife on her. And you know what that reminded me of? That story of her son telling that allegedly she put one on her other son. That's child, I'm just gonna leave that right there. So then before I finish up my notes, we get a visit from AT2. He drops down in Melanie's chat and he had a question. And his question was, how would we know whether TJ is telling the truth now? And why would she want to tell it? Like, why is she now telling the truth? And TJ went right into it. Ty went right into saying, like, you know what? I don't really have an issue with AT2, but my only issue I do have with him is that he fell into the Jag effect, and that when she had sent him the pictures of her DV, domestic violence from Naisha, that, honey, it was a lot. That something where about like he came out and he started running a story in a narrative that she was trying to set Jag up as being like, I guess, abusive, right? And this is after I guess they broke up. But here's the thing about that, right? We literally sat and watched them play in our face. Remember the truck driver? Remember the hitchhiking? I did a whole video on it, and they played us. Okay, they broke up like 11 times and got right back together. So I really do kind of feel like his question was a valid question. Like, how do we know now? Because you're like, y'all are known for lying and playing in our face. And honey, she didn't like that. She didn't like that. And she pretty much said, well, it's really just up to you whether you believe it or not, right? And she goes into like the email take a while to be delayed. By then they got back together. Honey, it was like a whole thing. And so then Ty pretty much admits that, she also too was a part of the Jag effect, and that, she went through some things with Jag. Jag pulled a knife for her. She swung on her at the pool, and that Jag cut TJ's hair. I remember that. She cut her hair. And time just seems to have gotten ignored with the interview, because I believe AT2 asked another question and she just pretty much dropped. Okay. And that's pretty much what all has been happening. I tried to squeeze it all into one video. I wanted to make this a little shorter, but my overall outlook on everything is, call me petty if you want to, as long as at least you're calling me, right? This whole Kimmy and Jag thing, I am very highly entertained, but I do think Jag needs to kind of chill out with Kimmy, because Kimmy's not playing with her. I genuinely, honestly feel like Kimmy has made it very clear she genuinely liked Jag. She really cared about her, and I feel like her feelings are genuinely hurt, and she don't have a problem taking Jag down if she has to. She said she was gonna try to get her committed to get help. I don't know if she's still working on it. I just know y'all should stay tuned to that. As far as Ty, if you're truly going to leave and go away from the Jaguar Wright whole fiasco, then you're going to have to commit into it 100%. Because if you keep doing interviews with like the CCs in this sector, and you keep, saying little jokes and stuff, it's just going to keep you tied down to Jag. So that's just like my only advice with that. The street's been okay. The drama's been okay. I'm more disturbed by the email that Jag sent about Sam Sr., only because it's like that could affect her son. But you can't really, and somebody did say under my comments, like, I'm looking at this from a more rationale, right? A more common sense point of view. And that's just not who Jag is. So in her mind, she really think the shit she doing is okay. So this is just my commentary. It was a lot. You know how it goes. If you stuck it out with me, you are a real one. I greatly appreciate you. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment below. Let me know below. How have y'all been enjoying all the drama? What's your outlook? Okay. Did y'all see the interview with Melanie Jones and Ty? And what was your outlook on it? Right. I do feel like Ty was a little defensive. Like she was just already on guard. And what is y'all look? What do y'all think's gonna happen next? I'm curious to see what y'all gonna say. Cause whoever get the closest, I'm gonna shout you out. I am. So you know how we do over here. I hope you all have a wonderful and blessed rest of your weekend and smooches.